Still hiding your confidence because your outfit isn't doing the talking? My name is Wuraola Ubaka. I am called your profitable fashion coach because if your business isn't making money, why are you even in business? At Wura, we don't just make clothes. We create statements. Our timeless ready-to-wear pieces are created for the woman who walks in grace, owns her space, and turns heads effortlessly. And if you are a fashionpreneur struggling to turn your talent into real income, especially if you are stuck in bespoke and want to transition to ready-to-wear, the Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy is your next step. We teach fashion creatives how to structure, scale, and sell profitably. From the woman who wears it to the woman who makes it. Confidence and profits go hand in hand. Wura dresses you. The PFA builds you. So come, join the movement. Wear confidence and build profits with Wura and the Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy. Welcome to my Profitable Fashionpreneur journey with Wuraola Ubaka. Tonight we are going to be meeting Maryam Balogun, who is one of our PFA Ready to Wear Bootcamp participants in Cohort 1. And Maryam is the founder and creative director of Mary Bowles Teaches, and she has been in business for a little over 15 years or more, but she's going to tell us more when she's sharing her story. And this evening, we're going to meet her and she's going to share her incredible journey in the PFA Ready to Wear Bootcamp. And it's already night, so I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm just going to go ahead and bring her right up. So, hello, Maryam.
Hi, good evening, ma. Good evening, coach. It's so good to be here this
Hi,
evening.
it's so good to have you. Welcome to my Profitable Fashionpreneur journey.
Thank you so much for having me, ma.
You are the one kicking off this journey, the first of its kind in the academy. So you are the first of the first. How
Oh,
does that
wow.
feel?
It feels very incredible. I don't think I've ever done anything like this. So permit me
Oh,
to say that I might. It's
don't
just going to
worry.
be.
It's an unhinged and unfiltered Q&A session. I didn't give any questions because I want your responses to be unrehearsed. I want them to be exactly your experience because that is what, this whole journey is about. Making people see what we do at the Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy through your own lens because everybody's experience at the end of the day is different.
Different.
So we're going to jump right into it. So tell us, how did you come to hear about the Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy? How did you find yourself in the boot camp? We would like to know.
Okay. So, thank you once again, coach, for having me. And I'm really grateful for all you do for us at the bootcamp. So I got thinking about this question today, actually. How did I get to hear about the PFA bootcamp? So it was just like one early afternoon. There's a friend of mine. I won't say she's a friend. She's like a big sis. She just came to my DM. She will usually just drop anything that she knows, like resources, anything she knows that would be useful to me. She's also a fashion designer, by the way. So
Okay.
that afternoon, she just came to my DM and said, "Oh, I think this will be useful for you." And then she sent a link, and I think the conference we had the other time was already like you had gone live, and then I clicked the link and then I joined, and I didn't really pay much attention, but looking back, I would say that what caught my attention was you made mention of structure, you made mention of scaling, you made mention of profit, and there was something that you kept saying, like, are you making, are you even in business if you're not making profit? Are you even in business if you're not making profit? And looking back now, that was what got me hooked. Because prior to that time, I was already asking myself questions, like so many questions about, okay, you've been in business for how long? What have you been able to do with your business? Like, I had been in business for a long time. There were no results to show for the time that I'd spent in business. So those were internal questions I was asking myself around that time. And then listening to you, it was more like it was a prescription for the problem I was having. And that was what got me hooked. Yeah, so it was very impromptu. It was very not planned. Till today, I don't think she's aware that I joined the live, that I signed up for the bootcamp, because it was just like a personal thing. I didn't tell anybody. And she's not even in the bootcamp. So it means that she was just a messenger that was sent for this reason. And here I am today.
Wow, that's such a profound story. So a friend of yours, so this friend of yours who sent it to you is also a
Yeah.
fashion entrepreneur.
Yes, she
Okay,
is.
so your friend of yours who was a fashion entrepreneur actually sent it to you, and then she
Yeah.
is not even in the boot camp, but meanwhile here you are in the boot camp, you know.
Of
And really, that's really the funny thing about God, many times when he wants to actually send us a message, he sends it through, he can send it through any means. Do you understand? So it's now left for us to actually be listening, to actually be in alignment, so that you can actually catch it, because you could have sent that thing and you could have brushed it off. Be like, "Oh,
yeah.
I beg all these fashion people, you know but somehow your spirit was in alignment and you were able to actually
Yeah.
connect, you know
Yes.
okay. So what would you say was that pain that you were going through? What was your pain point? What was that thing that, kept you up at night, that actually made you say, okay, now you've joined the conference, you saw things at the conference, but what was that thing that made you take that leap of faith to say, okay, you know what? Let me register for this boot camp. I have this problem. I want to solve it. What was that thing that you saw that made you say, okay, let me even register for this boot camp?
So I'll just try to make everything as brief as possible, because the story that I have is a story that has spanned over 15 years. So if I want to begin,
This stage is
we
yours, so take your time.
will not live here today. We won't live here
All right.
today. So, but in summary, I would say that so I'm a fashion designer, and I'm currently an atelier operations manager for a fashion house in Abuja presently. So I have been in business. I will keep saying this, for over 15 years, and I've won so many awards as a fashion designer. I've showcased lots and lots and lots of my creations. I've I would say I've made a name for my brand in my space. I'll say that I'm one of the most trusted fashion designers you can find around, if I do say so myself. But with all of this, like I said, I won awards, monetary awards, lots and lots and lots of it. And so at the beginning of this year, I won like a huge grant. Do I have to mention the amount I won? Okay. So I
Just
can't
share
hear
what you're
you.
comfortable with sharing.
Okay.
Just share what
So
you're
I want,
comfortable with sharing.
all right. So I want like a huge grant at the beginning of the year. And prior to that, I'd won so many other, monetary awards because, quotes and unquotes, I'm just like the baddest fashion designer you can find around. But as soon as that money gets to my hand and I spend and spend and spend and spend, I'll find myself going back to this to square one again. Then do the same thing. It's more like a cycle that keeps repeating itself. I can't tell you that I have done business for a year and invested money from my brand back into the brand. I don't have that track record. So it's usually just money I make and then it just balances out itself. Nothing to put back into the business. Most of the sewing machines I have were sewing machines I inherited from my mom because I grew up watching my mom sew. So I've not been running a profitable business. Like someone once told me, the person said, "You've just been living life. You've not earned a living for a day in your life." This is in quote. Someone has told me this. So I had not earned a living from my business of close to 15 years. And like I said earlier, it got me thinking. These were what brought those thoughts to my head. And I started to think there's something I am not doing right. There has to be something that I wasn't doing right to keep getting the results I was getting. And then I would say I was very open from the beginning to getting a change in all that was going on around me. And I think that was why I was very sensitive when the PFA bootcamp came up. So the number one problem is that I wasn't profitable. I wasn't profitable. I wasn't making any money for over 15 years. I had not made. It was more like I've been running a charity organization. Somebody with so much talent, so much client base. I just keep giving. I think that's the word. I just keep giving, and I do not have anything in return to show for all my givings. And then, yeah, that was it. Not being profitable. In summary.
All right. Thank you so much for that background, because it has really set the tone for what we are going to do today. And there was something Maryam said. She said that someone told her that she had been living life, but she had never earned a living for a day in her life. And Maryam has told us how she has been a fashion entrepreneur for a little over 15 years, and she is, in her words, the baddest fashion designer that you can see around, you can know. And that's why a lot of times I say talent is not enough. You can know your craft, you can be the best at your craft, you can be the baddest at your craft, but someone that does not even know how to sew but understands the business of fashion will floor you when it comes to
Exactly.
actually making money. So it's not enough. Talent is not enough. It's not enough for you to be a badass fashion designer. It is good, it's a good starting point. Having a good knowledge of your craft, having good craftsmanship is something I always advocate for. But beyond the craftsmanship, what next? And this is really the reason why the PFA exists. We exist to bridge that gap from craftsmanship to profits, because it is not enough for us to have excellent fashion designers who are not making money. Because the truth is that you're going to make a mockery of what it is that is a fashion business if people look at you and they can't actually see that your business as a path to wealth. So so it's actually very important, and what you've shared is so germane to even the experiences of a lot of other fashion entrepreneurs. Okay, so now we know where you were. We know what you struggled with. So when you came into the PFA Ready to Wear bootcamp, first of all, what were your expectations? Let's start from there.
Okay, so if you remember very well from the beginning, I said I there were words that you made mention of that caught my attention. So I I I was, I will not say I was very, so the right word would be that I will not say pleasantly surprised, because um the from the let me start from the day one. So
Okay.
from day one, it was that there's something here for me. And why I would say that is day one helped me reconnect back to the reason why I was even interested in being a fashion designer. So day one helped me, and then it was like, so can you repeat the question again? It's like I'm missing my train of thoughts.
Okay. I said that what were your expectations coming into the bootcamp? Like,
Okay.
so you heard about the bootcamp, you paid for it. What were you hoping that, okay, if I enter this bootcamp, or at least if it teaches me this thing, I'll be okay? What were your expectations coming into the bootcamp?
All right. So my expectations will be that I I was hoping for structure. I was hoping for clarity. I was hoping for, first and foremost, clarity, then structure. So at the beginning of the year, I already had like a semblance of, I came into what I wanted to do in the fashion space, like specifically what I wanted to do. But it was just it was just me with my thoughts. So coming into the boot camp, I was hoping that, okay, this would help me cement whatever it is I had going on at the time. Then also help me with structure. That's what I've always known that I needed in my business. I knew that I needed this thing, but I didn't know how to go about it. Structure. So those two things, I needed clarity and I needed structure. And I can tell you specifically that from day one, it was like this was where I was meant to be. Because the exercise that we had that day was, okay, what is your why? I can't forget the day one at all. So it was, what is your why? So this, I had that in mind, just surface, but I was able to dig deep with the exercises and everything that, the tool of the day, the word of the day, and going through everything. It was more like there's this word I'm looking for, a revelational experience. And then everything just started flowing from there. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. So you came into the boot camp looking for clarity and looking for structure, and you were actually able to, from the first day, know that, you know what, I think I'm in the right place. There was
Exactly.
something about the tool of the first day that just made you know that, this was, the place for you. Okay.
Yes.
So now I'm going to ask you to now share unhinged, share in an unhinged way about the experiences that you have now had. So we know where you were coming from, and we know, that you had a business that hadn't made money. Okay, so first of all, I'll ask, do you have other people that you employ, or were you a solopreneur?
So at different points in my journey, I'd employed staff, I'd trained students, just very haphazard. So sometimes I would have maybe one or two staff. Then we fall out because we usually fall out. I think I didn't have the patience to manage tailors at the time. But now, but now, my story has changed. So I used to have staff, I used to have students at different points in time. I didn't know that I was the problem. Now I know that I was the problem.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay, so it's funny because today we did a post on our Instagram page. Our Instagram page, by the way, is at the Profitable Fashionpreneur, and I was saying that we don't actually have bad tailors or bad staff. We just have a lot of untrained fashion entrepreneurs, and
Hmm.
unfortunately, many times we don't want to turn the searchlight on ourselves because it's just easier to blame other people for our problems. But what you have is people who are supposed to be the captains of the ship, but they can't even steer the ship because they do not even have, they don't even know that they don't even have what it takes to share the ship. Let's even start from there before we start saying, okay, they
Hmm.
don't have what it takes. You don't even know that, because at the end of the day, you don't know what you don't know. So
Hmm.
Miriam said that she had employed people, she had trained students, but that they would always fall out. And she didn't even know that she was the problem. She didn't even
Yeah,
know why. She didn't even know that she was the problem. So now,
true.
Miriam, let us now hear about the transformational journey that you've been through. The academy runs for 12 weeks, and we are currently in the 11th week in the academy. So tell us
Yeah.
about your journey through the past 10 weeks and, how that has been. How is it going?
Okay. So thank you once again, coach, for the PFA bootcamp. I can't thank you enough, actually. But thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I'll say that the journey has been transformational. That's the one word I'll use. It has been transformational. So um when I was going to apply for the bootcamp, I knew that I would need time before I'll be able to apply it to my personal brand, because I had other plans, you know, before I would do that. So, coach, you know the story. I, I, but if I don't say it as it is, I don't the context. So I need to say a little bit of the story to get the context out.
Yes, just go ahead and share as much as you are comfortable sharing. Yes.
Okay. So I recently relocated, and okay, I was planning my relocation while the PFA bootcamp was on, I think, when it was being advertised. So I knew that I'll be on that journey of relocating, and I will not be able to immediately apply it to my brand. So I knew what I was in for. But then I didn't know that even with the other plans I had of getting a job still in fashion designing, I didn't know that the bootcamp will also help me in the job that I was getting. So right now, I am not working on my ready to wear collection. I am not employing staff. I am not managing my own staff. I am not creating SOPs for my brand, but I am applying all of this knowledge in an operations manager job that I have currently for another brand, a bigger brand, a much more bigger brand than my brand. And it has been a wonderful learning curve for me. So I've been applying all I've been learning from day one. Even that exercise you gave us about our why, I'd used it, you know, to assess the brand I work for and to fix some, loopholes, just patch up some loopholes in the brand. I've been able to manage staff, like the staff because I came from, it was more like, who is this imposter? When I came in, it was like, who is this stranger that wants to come and take over and, make changes in, what we are used to. So there was a little bit of like a push from everybody. But then every day I keep learning, taking information I get from the bootcamp and applying it to my job. So let me give an instance. For instance, let me use the SOPs. You taught us how to create SOPs. It has been a lifesaver for me, because if it was me of before, when I have a staff, I expect you to have common sense and know what you're supposed to do and just do it. And I'll keep shouting. Everybody knows me. Everybody that knows me know that I like to say, I don't like stupid people. I don't like stupid people. That's my mantra. But then it has made me see that if you don't lay it out as it should be, if you don't have a laid out way that you want it to be, the person is not a witch. The person is not in your mind. The person, you don't know where that person is coming from. The person might have a different way of doing things, and that way will seem like the best way. And then it's nobody's fault when they don't do it the way you expect it to be done. You see why I say I was the problem? But now I don't even shout, because there is a way, and then you follow that way, and then everybody follows that way, and there's consistency in output. Everything is coming out as it should be, whenever, however, no matter who does that task, it comes out the same way every time. And then it's just so beautiful to watch. There was something you said. I don't know, my I don't know, maybe my mindset, it usually take a lot of time before it shifts. But when it does shift, like it shifts for real. So you said something about how when you create that, there's something that consistency of output does to the brand automatically. It just makes it very efficient. And that's what I'm seeing now where I work. And then a few days ago, the CEO of the brand had to say that, because I just spent 1 month at the new job, and she was like, it doesn't even feel like I'd spent just a month, because the change she has seen is mind blowing. Like, this was what she said. These were her words. And then the fact that I want to see this change in my brand, it makes me do what I do like it's my brand. So you see how even me, I'm impressed with what I'm seeing. And then imagine when I now apply all of this to my own brand. Just imagine. Just imagine. So this is where I'm at. I hope I've not talked for too long.
No, actually, as a matter of fact, you haven't. So you said that the brand owner where you work was actually like, she didn't feel like you had just been there for a month.
For
It
just a
felt
month.
like
It felt she said it felt like that. It doesn't feel like you have been here for just a month. And she has been really grateful. But the secret ingredient is this bootcamp. I won't even lie, because I would have been clueless, like very clueless at that role, And it has nothing to do with my talent or my creativity. It will have nothing to do with it, because of course I will be good at what I will be doing, but then how to manage other people to get that same result will not be an issue. I would have fought with everybody in that place. I would have sat and fired everybody. It was my before self. It's not even funny, but it's funny. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Miriam, for sharing for sharing your journey. Yes, these things are they are funny now, but yes, they are
Hmm.
actually not funny.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, you see, especially when you work with big brands, when you have a new manager, it's like everybody first gangs up to be like, you can
Hmm.
don't bring this your new things here, oh. Like inside
Exactly.
this place, sabi wetin we dey do. Like it's like all the tailors are just ready to fight you. But at
Yes.
the end of the
Somebody will tell you, we've been doing it this way.
day,
We've been doing,
mhm.
they said it, the tailor said, we have been doing right from the inception of the brand. It has been like this. So who am I now to now say, no, don't do it like this? But come on, it's for the good of the brand, it's for the progress of the brand. And then now everybody's enjoying it. And they're now saying, this manager, I see what you're
So now
doing.
you're the
Yeah.
shining star.
Oh my God.
Yes, and that's
Yeah.
the thing about process. Many times, and even about change, many times change is so difficult.
Yeah.
But if you can only just open yourself to embracing that change, to embracing the learning curve that it brings,
Yes.
it can really open you up to a whole world of possibilities.
Possibilities. Yeah.
Yes. And then there's another thing, with fashion brands, um, at the end of the day, you have to prove that what it is you say you can do, you can actually do it. At the end of the day, people respect value. That's the truth. So even if
Yes.
people push back and they see that, like I say, this person gets sense. So it's like these things that they are actually
Yes.
the thing they work.
Yes.
When they say they work and they show, you know,
Yes.
when
Yes.
they say your work, they show. Even there, actually now starts coming back to say, you know what,
Yes, and,
maybe we
and
should.
and then what I forgot to mention was that the 1 month was okay. Let me check you out and see if you actually bring what you say you can bring to the table. So it was like a let me watch you, and then now it's like you exceeded. Yes, this way how was you exceeded my expectation. Yeah, I just remembered now. You exceeded my expectation. It doesn't feel like it's just been a month. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. That is really. I think if you hear that from your employee after a month, you know that you are definitely doing something right.
Yes.
If you hear that from
Yes.
your employer after a month, it means that you're definitely a value addition to the brand and to the company, and
Yeah.
that's such a beautiful thing. Okay, so what would you say are your top three, or let me say top two webinars in the academy, and why? Why would you choose them?
Top three webinars.
Yes. So you can just tell us the generic topics. You may not remember the exact name of the webinar, but what week's work? So we've had 10 weeks so far with you and week 11.
Oh,
Yes.
the topics.
Yes, the topics.
Oh,
What are the ones that have really stood out for
stood
you?
out. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. I would say the one that I was really, really, really interested in, like as soon as it came up, I was like, okay, I like this. Creating our mood boards. I'm a very visual, creative, like I love those sort of things. And then it was something I really loved, bringing my ideas processing my ideas, because it's more like processing, bringing different elements together to visually see how you can make it into a design. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Then the one that was a bit scary for me was the inventory management. When we go to inventory management, and it was like, this thing. I'm not a very organized person, so I will usually run away from stuff like that, like documenting, especially when I saw that we had to like count what we had in stock, what we had in stock. And
In
then,
your story.
yes, and then that period I did a lot of giveaway. Like I said, I was relocating. I almost gave out myself, because like it was just a lot. And it's not like I have any regrets. It was just baggage upon baggage that I had gathered. Imagine 15 years. I had so much. I just gave it out, and I looked back. I turned my back so that I will not go back to
Think about
feeling bad. Yes. So keeping stock was very scary for me at first. But now applying it to my new job, it's been beautiful. Like, keeping record is a lifesaver. So now I do it mechanically, because it just comes naturally that, okay, you have to document. And then on a very random day, I will be requested to provide data or information about something. And then I'll just go smoothly to my Google Sheet and just source whatever it is that is needed. The efficiency that has given me is I can't even put it to words. So it's one topic I'm very grateful for. Inventory management. Chef kiss. I think it now turned out, it was the scariest, but it now turned out to be like the most useful for me, for my job. Like I'm almost always on Google Sheets. I'm always documenting. I have this little book that I usually just quickly jot things down on. I'm always with that book, and I'm always on my phone. So documenting stock in, stock out, documenting like production log, who is working on what, when. Like it just flows. I can look at my log, I can look at my Google Sheet and know where everybody is supposed to be without even standing up and moving around. I know what everybody is doing, when they are doing it, when they're supposed to be done with it. It's just a lifesaver. It's just been a
nice.
lifesaver for me. Then the third one, the SOPs. I think the SOPs, because I think as at the first week I was at the job, the CEO mentioned that, oh, we really need to do this. Is just very beneficial for us to do this SOP thing. And then as at that time I was wondering, what is this SOP? I was wondering what is SOP. Oh. I went on ChatGPT and I was like, okay, SOP. Okay, SOP. We need that step by step. And then it came up in the bootcamp, and I was like, God, is this not God? Is this not God? So I'll say that the bootcamp in summary has been a God sent. It has been a lifesaver. It has been an answered prayer. Because see, I'm already so used to holding that this is my book. This is my book, and this is my pen and my Google Sheets. I'm so used to it now. And it's because of the bootcamp.
All right. Thank you so much, Miriam. I just
Yes,
have one follow-up question. Okay, were you still saying something?
No, I wanted to give a summary. So the mood
Okay,
board, the inventory management, and the SOPs. Yes, those are the three that stood out for me.
okay. So you said that, when you first got on your job, they had told you, oh, we need to do this SOP thing. And you're like, okay, SOPs. So as you said, you went on ChatGPT. So
Yes.
how did the ChatGPT SOP, quote and unquote, measure up against what you learned in the academy? Because many people, many times when you talk about learning in a structured environment, people think I can just Google it, I can just ChatGPT it, I can just.
Mm.
How did it measure up? Do you think that you would have been able to ChatGPT your way through to the SOP creation if you were not in the academy?
So I would say that ChatGPT is a computer. ChatGPT will always be a yes sir. Anything you give you tell ChatGPT, it will always encourage. If you even tell ChatGPT that, if ChatGPT tells you that this is how to sew a trouser, and you say no, this is how to sew a trouser, and you impute how to sew a shirt for it, it will agree with you. It will agree with you. But the boot camp, the boot camp is, we have you, coach, to vet our assignments, and this is something. Another beautiful thing is that this is a path that you are walking. So it's not something that you are just, freestyling and telling us to do. This is something you do in your own business. So say for instance, we're to submit our task, and so I'll be honest that I didn't submit any of the SOPs because I used, of course, I used the brand I'm working with, and I do not think that it will be proper for me to do that, like submit the SOPs for that brand as my
Yeah.
own, because I've not had time sincerely for my own brand. So I'll say I didn't submit. But from the feedback that I saw that you gave to people that submitted, you were very, very thorough. Sorry, my battery is getting low. 1 minute, please. Let me just check my socket.
Okay, go ahead. All right, so we have been talking to Maryam Balogun, who is the founder and CEO of Maribel Stitches. She has shared with us so far her journey through the Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy and how it has helped her in her current role working for a bigger fashion brand than hers as the production manager, or as a what was your
Operation,
role, Miriam?
operations man-
Operations manager. Exactly. So it has helped her in her role as an operations manager for a bigger brand. And it's basically making her look like a superstar that she is. Yes, PFA makes you a superstar in your
of course.
fashionpreneur role. And yes, it's a thing. It's a thing. The profit circle is a thing. If you like, you join. If you like, you don't join. But when you hear the testimony of others, I hope that if you are actually in that, stuck in that revolving door, stuck in that hamster wheel, stuck in that rut, you are finally able to take a chance on yourself. Okay, so you were saying something before your battery cut you off.
And then I lost my train of thought again. I'm
Okay,
so
all
sorry.
right. So basically, Miriam has told us that her best 3 weeks in the webinar were the week. She said the mood board week, that's the production week, and during production week, we take you all through production. So I want to ask you, Miriam, before the production week, because I know you've been in business, and like you said, you have attended competitions, you have won. Had you worked on a fashion collection before? Had you done the whole mood board and the whole thing before? And was there any difference between what you knew and what you saw or experienced, during that production week in the academy?
Okay, so I would say I've worked on different collections. So there was a collection I worked on like shortly before I applied for the bootcamp. So the collection was okay. The idea I had, can I share that?
Yeah, if you're comfortable sharing, sure.
Yeah. So the idea I had for that collection was, um so as I earlier said, I had come to myself at the beginning of the year. I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to clothe women, make women feel seen, you know, make women shine as stars that they are, Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. So I decided to do a collection to showcase, a woman in all her glory, in all her power. So the idea was built around, I grew up in a society where women were less preferred, or let me say a girl child was less preferred to the boy. And then I wanted to create a collection that showed how important the girl child was, and show her in all her glory, standing proud, beating all the odds, um just challenging, basically challenging, like the traditional
Stereotypes.
stereotypes that a woman is not supposed to be what she is, and all of that. So I decided to do a jumpsuit collection. I'm from a family of, lots and lots of girls. I'm the fifth, I'm the sixth girl. So it was more like, okay, when they gave birth to me, it was like a girl again. And
Hmm.
then I called the collection Girl Again. And
Nice.
then and then it was a jumpsuit collection, strictly jumpsuits, representing like my my sisters, six sisters, then a little bit of, because I have brothers, so a little bit of the male wears too. Like three of the jumpsuits were like slightly masculine, but a little bit of, fresh air, not just the whole macho manly kind of jumpsuits. And then I planned all of that, and then I made the outfits. I made those outfits alone. Like I produced it alone, because as at that time, I pursued all my staff. I was so stressed out of my mind. I was the creative director. I was the tailor. I was the pattern drafter. I did everything from start to finish. I even, like, I showcased the jumpsuits at an event. It was so beautiful. It was so perfect. But it didn't leave that, like, it was just like, oh, it's so beautiful. I love your designs. They're so bold. It embodied everything I wanted it to. Like, it represented everything that it was supposed to represent. But there was no depth. There was no, it didn't leave that surface.
Hmm.
That my town, that my area, that where I was the baddest
Hmm.
designer, didn't leave that cycle.
Hmm.
There was no, looking back now, I understand. I understand why. There was no, it was just surface. It was more like the story was a beautiful story, but I just scratched the surface. And
The
that was what I
surface.
was just able to show. And then there was no, I'll say there was
There was
no
no
depth.
depth.
Yes.
Hmm.
So if I'm to relaunch, sorry, if I'm to relaunch that collection now, if I'm to not relaunch, if I'm to work on that collection now with the knowledge I have, you'll be blown away, coach, and you'll be proud of me. Yes. So watch out.
Thank
Watch
you
out
so
for the
much,
girl
Miriam. I'm,
in
I'm already,
collection.
I, my dear. I don't have any job apart from watching out. Though I'm here to watch out. I'm here to watch
Oh,
out for
all
all
right.
my mentees because, yes, I don't know. Can you hear me? Is it my network or yours?
Yeah, it's cracking, but I can hear you now.
All right. Okay. So now maybe there's someone out there who is, sitting. Maybe they are following the page, our social media handles, the profitable fashionpreneur. They look through, the things we do, but they're like, all these Instagram people. That's how they will just come, make noise, make noise, make noise, collect your money. When they finish, you won't even see anything. What do you actually have to say to that person who is wondering, when we even someone asked me, when I come into the academy, what do they do? What do you do? What do you have to say to that person that, okay, how do you tell someone, what we do in the academy through your lens? Let's hear it through your lens. Hello, Miriam. I don't know if you can hear me. Um, can you see me? Can you hear me? I need to know if this network issue is from my end. Um, can you confirm in the comment section if you can see me or hear me, so that I know that I am being heard? I think the network has kicked out Maryam. Okay, so we have been speaking with Maryam Balogun, who is the CEO of Mary Bao Stitches. Thank you for that confirmation. And she has been sharing her incredible journey in the Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy, the 90 days ready to wear bootcamp of the Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy. We like to refer to it as the profit circle, because I want you to wake up every morning reminding yourself that you are in fashion to make profits. And Miriam has shared her incredible journey of how she had been in fashion for 15 years. And in fact, someday someone had to tell her that, you have been living life, but you haven't earned a living. She had been in fashion for 15 years, but she hadn't earned a living. And the truth of the matter is that she didn't even know how to, until she actually came into the PFA Ready to Wear bootcamp. And then it all finally made sense. And although she now works as the operation manager of a bigger fashion brand, she has been able to translate all the things that she has been learning in the academy into her role as the operation manager. And we all know how it is when you hire staff. So I'm going to speak from my experience as an employer. So when you hire a staff in your first month, you're just trying to, normally I usually say that the first month is usually sadaka, because that first month you are just training the staff. And most times you get no value for the money that you pay for the salary in that first month. You're just like, it's just like you're just dashing the person money. So imagine an employer in the first month saying, you exceeded my expectation. It doesn't feel like you have been here for just a month. Just imagine that type of flex. So because of the things that she was able to learn in the bootcamp and implement in this business where she's the operations manager, she has actually been able to show herself as a value addition. And that's what happens when you submit yourself to mentorship. You are able to fly in ways that even you could have never imagined. And people will be looking at you, and the things that you're doing will be looking to them like film. They'll be like, this person that just started this fashion did which day? When did that? Because the truth of the matter is that they don't even know where they are cooking you. That's what I usually say. I say, do you know where they are cooking me? They don't even know where they are cooking you. So they can't even possibly understand. Mentorship gives you a cheat code for life. Mentorship gives you speed. Mentorship gives you clarity. Mentorship helps you ensure that you are not falling into the same mistakes that have kept you in a rut, that have kept you in a cycle, that have kept you stuck. Mentorship actually gives you that edge. And the truth of the matter is that when you meet someone who is actually properly mentored, the difference is always clear. you can always tell that there's something about this person that is actually extraordinary. And that has actually been the story of Maryam Balogun. I don't know, it seems like she's having issues with her network and she's trying to join back. Maryam, I don't know if you're here.
Hi, coach. Can
Uh,
you hear me?
okay, I can hear you. It seems like your light has gone out.
No, it's
Because
uh, uh, my video is on. I don't know what's.
okay, we can't see you, but I can hear you. So maybe try going out of the stream and then coming back on the stream. Let's see if that will help. So I can hear
Okay.
you loud and clear, but I can't see you.
It's...
Okay. Um um so that is what mentorship would actually do for you. It will actually give you wings to fly. And when I asked Miriam what has been, okay, so welcome back, Miriam. Okay, good. Okay, now we can see you and we can also hear you. So I think
Sorry for that.
before you went off the feed, I was asking you that what will you say to someone um if someone were to ask you, so what is it that people really do in this academy? What will you say to that person? What will your answer be?
Hmm. So my answer to that question would be that um so let me talk about for me what it is personally. So I've been able to understand that profit is not a sin, no. It's not a bad thing, because at a point in my life I just felt like maybe my purpose in life was to make beautiful clothes, showcase God's glory for the world to see. But I've come to realize, and I've come to learn from you, coach, that profit is not bad. In fact, profit helps the purpose. Profit will help me impact more people, reach more people. Profit will help my creativity to make more sense. And that's a mindset shift that has it has just been mind blowing for me, and that's what has stayed with me so far in the bootcamp. And I'm going to preach it anywhere, that the the bootcamp has helped me to have a change in my mindset towards making money, towards using my talent, my gifts, my skill to make money. The bootcamp has helped me in creating structure, because that structure that we just see on the surface, we just throw it around, is what actually brings the profit. Now I'm beginning to sound like coach. So these are things that I didn't know before. So I will preach it anywhere. If maybe to someone else it might be that what I'm saying now is common knowledge. But trust me, it's not common knowledge. Come and see for yourself. Come and see what the bootcamp can do to your life, not just your business, to your life. And you will come back to thank me. I can drop my number so that my thanks will be in order.
All right. Thank you so much, Miriam. And I was recently talking to a fashion entrepreneur like myself, and she was saying how, she was thinking she needed to put her manager in the boot camp, but she was contemplating, you know, what will you say to fashion brand owners who probably don't have the time, but they know they need the structures, or even don't have the time, but they need to create this. What message do you have for fashion brand owners who need the structure to actually create profit? And also, I would also want you to even get back into this issue of structure. A lot of times, even every time you go on the internet, you hear your business needs structures, your business needs systems, your business needs structure. So it's like the word structure has just been thrown around,
Yeah.
in a way that
Yes.
makes it sound like one abstract concept. So I will want you to speak to that first, and then also then tell us, what message you would have for fashion entrepreneurs, fashion brand owners, and all that about the PFA Right to Wear Bootcamp.
So there's just a lot to unpack. My brain is just doing it's just in so many places at the same time. Coach, can you please repeat the question, the second one, not the first one, because my mind was
Okay,
already on that
the
first
first.
one. Yes.
Okay, you can finish the first one. I'll repeat the second one when you're done with the first one.
Okay. So my message for fashion brand owners. So um a little back story. So before I accepted the job that I'm currently doing, the CEO was like, "Oh, I need structure in my business. I need structure in my brand. Um, I my staff, they just do as they like. I need somebody that will manage them, put things in order." And as at that time, I didn't know Jacko about this structure that they were talking about. One of my main goals before I got the job was, okay, I'll go into these established brands and learn a thing or two about this structure that they keep talking about. But then here I was tasked with the duty of creating structure. So it was more like, okay, what do I know now that I want to be doing in this place? But then, as you know, the PFA bootcamp was a lifesaver for me. And then, I keep going back to my notes. I keep going back to um, those resources that you've been sharing with us, and it has been helpful. Then, another thing again that I want to make mention is the CEO had said that, oh, whatever it is you need, whatever resources, I will even pay for courses. I will even like sponsor you if you need to, take on some courses, and then, to help you in this role. You see that she was very, very, very encouraging and everything. But as at that time, I had, of course, paid for the course. So I would say that if I had not registered for this course, it would have been like the perfect way to equip me for the role that I was going to take on. So it would have been like, okay, I'm doing this for you, but ultimately for my brand. And then you see that it would have been like a very win-win situation at the end of the day. So my advice for every fashion brand owner that does not have the time, I don't know, if you don't have the time, your operations manager, your team leads, you can enroll them for this course. The value that they will get is not just, it's not something that you can sweep under the carpet. The value that they will get, the transformation it will bring to your brand, you are not ready for the growth that will come to you. And I'm saying this as someone that has been doing things haphazardly, doing things without a blueprint. I just threw that word blueprint now, because the PFA bootcamp has given me, I came in for clarity, but right now I have a blueprint. When I get stuck, I know where to go. I have ready-made solutions for the problem, for any problem I will encounter anytime in my brand. I can retrace my steps, go back, get, equip myself, and come back and tackle problems that I'm facing. At my job, I do it. When it comes to my brand, by then I will not even need to go back to my books. It will already be ingrained in my mind. So to every fashionpreneur out there that doesn't have the time, it doesn't matter. Your staff, those are the people that give life to the brand. Of course, you cannot be everywhere at the same time. Equip them. It's for the good of the brand. It's for the purpose of, scaling your brand, making your life easier, making your money flow like water, because that's what it will do eventually. So get the bootcamp for everybody, even your tailors. Register them. Everybody needs this. I'm telling you.
All right, all right. So the last thing which you actually kind of spoke about, but I wanted you to speak to the issue of structure, because a lot of times people throw the word system structure around, and so when you come and you're saying system structure, all this system structure they've been telling me since, so I wanted you to speak to the issue of structure in relation to the bootcamp.
Okay, so the issue of structure, like I said, the word structure is just everywhere, all over the place. And I've been looking for it. That structure I've been searching for it. But I couldn't find it anywhere. It's just a word that people use loosely. And unsuspecting and innocent people like me would think that, oh, structure is just get somebody for maybe every role, because that's how I saw structure as. Get somebody for every role in your business. That's what structure meant to me. So, for instance, get a get a pattern drafter, get a tailor, get a content creator, get a photographer. That was what structure meant to me. So I'll always battle with the idea of, okay, where do I get these people? Where do I get sensible people that are not stupid? That was always what was coming to my mind. How do I get these people? But now I know that structure is my responsibility. Structure is my responsibility first. And I've taken it upon myself by getting this bootcamp, by registering for this bootcamp. That's the first duty I did to myself. And then now I have my blueprint. So if you two want to know and have your blueprint for your structure, I will not share all those plenty details. But that structure that I've been looking for, I have the blueprint to it now. I have the blueprint for my structure. And then it entails a whole lot of different things. Different things that may seem, if I were to begin to tell you about it now, it will just fly over your head. It will fly over your head. But all of this, it has given me clarity. And that's what structure does. Coach, I'm talking too much.
All right, thank you so much. So we have been talking to Maryam Balogun, who is the CEO of Maribel's Teaches. And like she said, she has been through a long journey in the fashion industry. If you even look through her Instagram page, you will see, you will see things that actually validate the things she has said. She used to go for fashion shows, fashion events, grants events, enter competitions, win them, you know. But like we have said, talent is not enough. It's a good starting point, but it is not enough for profitability. And that's the work we do at the Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy. We help you take that talent and turn it into money. Because what is happening in fashion schools is that they are teaching everybody how to sew, how to churn out beautiful pieces. So you come out of fashion school, you know how to sew, and then what next? So the Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy is your what next. It is the next step that is bridging the gap between taking your talents and actually now making you make money. Because at the end of the day, you entered into fashion to make money. Yes, you wanted to create beautiful clothes, but you wanted to be able to earn a living. And like Miriam said, she had been living, but she had not been earning a living from her fashion business. And so now, even though she's working for someone, she's better positioned to earn a living with the skill set she has, gotten. If she even asks her, if she even tells her employer now that she wants a raise, safe, the employer will not even think twice because I'm sure she cannot even afford to even let you go now. She's just like, this one that finally got somebody that is even, as according
Yeah.
to you, that has sense.
Oh my
This
god.
one, this one that I have somebody that has sense now, I beg. So actually, what mentorship does for you is that it positions you to be able to take advantage of opportunities that may come your way. Imagine that Miriam had
Yeah.
received grants. Imagine you had all those grants with the knowledge you have now. Imagine the
Ah,
difference it will make.
coach,
Do you understand? So
true.
sometimes we think our problem is money, but our problem is not money. Your fashion
Coach,
business is
it's
not
not
making
money,
money because
oh.
you don't have capital. Yes.
Coach, it's not money.
It's not because you don't have
I've
capital.
I've handled a lot of money that I didn't even know what to do with it. I didn't know what to do with
Exactly.
it. I will know that, okay, create collections, sell collection. That's just what I know. Head knowledge. Create collections, sell it. Nobody's even asking how much is this thing. Everybody just will just say wow, 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 and pass. And then that money is gone. That money will go like that. Then I'll start again. But now that's not happening.
So you see, money is not your problem. If you have money and you don't have the right knowledge, you will not still be able to multiply that money. And that's why the work that we do at the PFA in general, whether any of our courses, any of our resources, our ready to wear bundle, we take it seriously. The PFA is a serious academy where people
Hmm.
learn how to start, how to scale, or how to transition to ready to wear with confidence and clarity. It's not cho cho cho. We are not here to make noise. We are here to actually show you implementable steps. You do this, and then you do this, and then you do this, and then you get here. We're not making noise here. We actually put in the work that you need to take you from point A to point B. And that's a PFA promise. So it's been a wonderful time, spent with Maryam Balogun today. And I'm going to ask you for your final words, your closing word. If you had to close your session, what would you say to everyone who is watching you, about your journey and everything you've shared? What would be your closing words?
So my closing words is just me still reiterating all I've been saying or all I've said. so far. So coming into the bootcamp has made me realize that it is not about talent, it's not about your creativity. If you must get something out of a business, any business, first of all, it's not about structure now, like like I'm supposed to say. You need somebody that has gone that road to show you the road. That's my take out of all of this. I'm a very I'm a very visual learner, a hands-on learner. So when I see somebody that guides me, like I see somebody do something, it automatically becomes doable for me. And that's how I learn. And thank God for bringing me to for giving me the opportunity, the bootcamp, because I have been able to have a mentor. Coach, that's how I see you, a mentor that is guiding me through the path that I must take. So if you want to go a path that you are not sure of, get a mentor. Get a mentor. Get a mentor. Somebody that has walked that road. Not anybody, not any mentor. Get somebody that has walked that road to guide you. And then you will just see that you can collapse 10 years. You will collapse it into few weeks. Like, I'm not even joking. What I've been struggling to know for the past 15 years, I got to know these things in the last even by the seventh day. I already had enough clarity to last me, you know. So get somebody, a mentor that has passed that route, and it will just be an easy walk. Thank you so much, Coach, for
Thank
having
you.
me. I'm really, really
Thank you so
grateful
much, Maryam, for
for
sharing your
the opportunity.
beautiful journey. I have personally been blessed by your story, and I know, of course, we still have a lot to see you. I can't wait to see how you evolve in your role, and I can't wait to see the evolution of your fashion business when you're eventually ready to restart that. It's been a pleasure having you on my profitable fashionpreneur journey. And like I said, you are the pioneer, one of one.
I'm
PFA
actually very
on.
surprised. I'm actually very surprised that, because I thought like I'll be like among the middle. I don't like to be
Yes.
first. So,
Well, there you are. You have been recognized to be spotlighted. So you will get used to being the first, because you will find yourself trailblazing in a lot of the things you do
amen.
because of the knowledge that you now have, and the blueprint that you also now have been able to develop, to get, which you will keep developing, and it will keep evolving
Yes.
over time. It's been a pleasure.
Coach, can you hear me? I can't hear you again. Uh-oh. Hello, Coach. Coach, can you hear me? What do I do?
All right. It seems like I was losing network for a little bit, but I think I'm back. Um,
I can hear you
yes,
now.
I think I'm back.
Okay.
Okay. So the profitable fashionpreneur journey is going to come to your screens Monday to Fridays throughout the month of October. So the next time we're going to be sharing this journey is going to be on Monday, and we're going to be meeting another fabulous, profitable bootcamp actually begins on the 1st of November 2025. So the next cohort begins in less than a month. We already have people getting into that cohort, and you really want to be able to share this link with your family, with your friends, and with anybody you know needs this help. Because at the PFA, we are not just saving businesses, we are saving lives. We are giving people a newfound reason to live, to exist, and to know that their businesses can be profitable. Thank you for joining us on this live. To register for the PFA Ready to Wear Bootcamp, please send a message to the number that is sliding on your screen. I'm also going to drop it in the comment section. Just send a WhatsApp message and to you. Like I said, the bootcamp, the next cohort of the bootcamp starts on the 1st of November 2025. Thank you so much, and have a good night, Profitpreneurs. For those of you in the Profit Circle, I'll see you in the Profit Circle. And for the rest of you, I'll see you same time, same station on Monday. Have a good night. Bye.
Good night, Coach.
Good night. Thank you so much, Maryam. Still hiding your confidence because your outfit isn't doing the talking? My name is Wuraola Ubaka. I am called your profitable fashion coach because if your business isn't making money, why are you even in business? At Wura, we don't just make clothes. We create statements. Our timeless ready-to-wear pieces are created for the woman who walks in grace, owns her space, and turns heads effortlessly. And if you are a fashionpreneur struggling to turn your talent into real income, especially if you are stuck in bespoke and want to transition to ready-to-wear, the Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy is your next step. We teach fashion creatives how to structure, scale, and sell profitably. From the woman who wears it to the woman who makes it. Confidence and profit go hand in hand. Wura dresses you. The PFA builds you. So come, join the movement. Wear confidence and build profit with Wura and the Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy.